Dear First Prep, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud with you today to introduce a new mathematics lesson. Today, inshallah, we are going to study the first geometry lesson with us in this term. The lesson, inshallah, will be in Unit 4, Lesson 1. The lesson is called Geometric Concepts and Some Related Angles. Inshallah, in this lesson, we are going to learn some new concepts. For example, some related angles, an angle called reflex angle, and we are going to remember an old concepts like the ray, the angle, the line segment, the straight line, and so on. And we are going, inshallah, to solve many problems and learn the new methods of solving geometry. Let's start the lesson. First, we have concept line segments. The line segment, as we studied before, is a line like this. It has start and has end. Okay, let the start here is A and the end is B. Then the line segment, okay, has start point and ending point. Okay, this line segment read as AB or BA because the line segment hasn't direction. Okay, of course the line segment has a length. Okay, next we have the straight line. The straight line is a line segment like this extended from two directions, from the right direction and from the left direction with no end. Okay, if we have 2 points like this on the straight line, then we can say that it hasn't start point or ending point. It read as AB straight line or BA straight line. Of course, the straight line hasn't length. We can't find the measure of the straight line. The third definition with us is the ray. The ray is a line segment extended from one direction like this. And again, the ray is a line segment extended from one direction only. Of course, it has start point and it hasn't end point. It has starting point A and it hasn't end point. No end to the ray. Okay, if we need to write the ray, okay, it read as AB ray, okay, like this, but we can't say it's ray BA. We read the ray from its start point. Okay, now we remembered, okay, the line segment, the straight line, and the ray because we are going to use these definitions in this term, inshallah, many times. Okay, the next definition with us is called the angle. The angle, as we learned before, is the intersection of two rays like this. We have a ray, okay, like this, and another ray. They intersect together at the starting point, okay, which is called the vertex of the angle. Okay, in this one, it's the union of two rays with the same start point. This start point, which is called the vertex of the angle, okay, and this ray called side of angle, and this ray called the other side of the angle. Okay, now to read the angle, okay, we are going to write the letters like this, A, B, C, okay, or any other letters. Okay, to read the ray, to read the angle, we are going to write the vertex, put the vertex in the middle. Okay, we can read it as A, B, C, or C, B, A. Again, we can read it as A, B, C, or C, B, A. Okay, angle ABC or angle CBA or angle B. Okay, then we can write it as ABC or CBA or angle B. Okay, how can we measure the angle? Measure the angle means finding the distance between or the gap between the two rays. Okay, the measuring units, the measuring unit here is called the degree. For example, if we need to measure a line segment, we use the centimeter. If we need to measure the weight, we use the kilogram. Okay, if we need to measure the time, we use hour, minute, or seconds. But here, to measure the angle, we use the degree. The degree, okay, if we have an angle like this, okay, and we used its name ABC, and we by using this protractor, okay, this protractor divided into 180 small dashes, each dash called degree. Then the degree is a very small distance, okay, as we see in the protractor. Okay, for example, in this angle, we have here AB at 0 and follow the distance 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, and finally 110. Then the measure of this angle by using this protractor is 110 degrees. Another example, if we have another angle like this, X, Y, Z, okay, and we used the protractor here like this, then its measure 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. As we see here, it's 60 degrees. Okay, now we have learned the definition of the angle, and it is the union of two rays. How can we read the angle ABC or CBA? The unit of measuring angle, it's the degree. Now we are going to learn the types of the angles. Okay, of course, the types of the angles we have learned in the primary stage. We have learned before 4 types, but today, inshallah, we have a new 2 types, okay, which make them 6 types. The first type with us called zero angle. Zero angle, okay, if we have for this like this a protractor, and we draw a ray like this and another ray like this, we we see here that the two rays are coincident. Coincident means above each other, over each other, or the distance between them is nothing. Then the distance here equal 0 degrees, then the angle is called zero angle. Its measure is 0 degrees because there is no any space between the two rays. The second one is called the acute angle. All of us remember the acute angle. The acute angle is an angle like this, okay? Its measure is less than 90 degrees, okay? Its measure is less than 90 degrees. The third one is the right angle. The right angle is the angle which has exactly, okay, 90 degrees, called the right angle. All of us remember the right angle. The fourth one is called the obtuse angle. The obtuse angle, like this, is an angle more than 90 degrees, as we see here, okay. Its measure is more than 90 degrees. The fifth one is the straight angle. The straight angle, okay, is the angle in which its two rays are on the same straight line, form a straight line like this. It has exact one measure, which is 180 degrees. And then the straight angle, its measure is 180 degrees. Okay, the sixth one, okay, this is a new one, which is called the reflex angle. The reflex angle, if we have this protractor which form a circle. The sum of measures of this circle or this protractor is 360 degrees. Okay, we use this one to measure the angle that are greater than 180. Okay, if we have an angle like this more than 180, then this angle is called a reflex angle. Okay, then the zero angle its measure is 0. The acute angle is less than 90. The right angle equals 90 exactly. The obtuse angle is less than 90. The straight angle is 100. The obtuse angle, sorry, more than 90. The straight angle exactly 180. And the reflex angle, as we see, is angle more than 180. Okay, it's called the reflex angle. Now we have example 1. Mention the types of the angle whose measure as the following. Okay, in this example, we have number 1, 57 degrees. 57 is less than 100, less than 90. It's an acute angle. 117 is more than 90, which is an obtuse angle. 90 exactly is called right angle, and 200 is more than 180, then this is a reflex angle. 43 and a half is angle less than 90, this is an acute angle, and 180 exactly it's straight angle. Okay, now we need to learn about um, the reflex angle. Okay, the reflex angle like this, if we have an angle like this, it called angle A, and its measure as we see from 0 till 100 degrees. Okay, measure angle A equal 100 degrees. Angle A here is an obtuse angle. Okay, in the other side, okay, here in the other side, there is a reflex angle. Why this angle is a reflex angle? Because this angle is more than 180 degrees. Okay, again, if we have angle A like this, and in the other side to angle A there is a reflex angle which is called reflex of angle A, or the opposite of angle A. To measure the reflex of angle A, okay, we use the sum. The sum here is what? Is 360. 360 minus the measure of A minus the 100 degrees equals what? Equals 260 degrees. Okay, then if he gives us an angle and he needs to measure the reflex of this angle, we are going to use this rule, 360 minus the angle. Now we have example 2. In this example, complete the following. Here in this table, we have up measure angle A, B, C. Okay. Down in the lower column, lower row, we have the reflex of angle ABC. Okay. Here, to find the reflex opposite to 50 degrees, we do the following. Okay. We are going to write 360 minus 50, it's equal to 310 degrees. Then here we are going to write 310 degrees. Okay, the next one. if we have the reflex angle equal 330 degrees and we need to find the angle, then we do what? We are going to write 360 minus 330, it's equal 30 degrees. Then the angle here equal 30 degrees. Here, to find the reflex opposite to 105 degrees, we are going to write here 360 minus 105, it's equal 255 degrees. Okay, it's 255 degrees. The next one, 360 minus 237, it's equal 123. Here 123. Okay, the fifth one, 360 minus 179, it's equal 181 degrees. Here 181 degrees. Here 360 minus 350, it's clear to measure it, it's equal 10 degrees. Okay, now we are going to study the first related angle with us. Related angles means relation between two angles. Okay, the first relation with us is called the two adjacent angles. Again, the two adjacent angles. The word adjacent is not new for us. We studied this word in the 6th primary. Okay, adjacent means in mathematics means neighbor or next to each other. Okay, for example, if we have an angle here like this and we draw another angle beside it like this, and we called those two angles 1 and 2. Okay, we have here two angles next to each other. Then those two angles called adjacent angles. Again, the adjacent angles are two angles next to each other. Okay, two angles are said to be adjacent if they have a common side and a common vertex. What does it mean? This side in between is called the common side, and this point is called the common vertex of the two angles. Then the two adjacent angles are two angles next to each other or beside each other, in which they must have a common side in between, and they must have the same vertex, okay, which is called the common vertex. Okay, and this line is called outer side, and this line is called outer side. Next, we have the two complementary angles. Then the first relation with us is the adjacent angles. The second relation is the two complementary angles. Okay, the two complementary angles, two angles are said to be complementary if the sum of their measures equal 90 degrees. Again, two angles, if the sum of their measures equals 90 degrees, then the two angles called complementary. Okay, remember this word, complementary. Okay, for example, if we have angle A equals 50 degrees and angle B equals 40 degrees, here we have 50 plus 40 equals what? 50 plus 40 equals 90. Then angle A and angle B are two complementary angles. Again, angle A and B, because the sum of their measures equals 90 degrees. If we need to draw two complementary angles as an adjacent angles like this, angle A equal 50, and we draw angle next to it equal 40 degrees to be complementary. Okay, then we get that The two angles like this form a right angle because the sum of their measures equal 90 and the measure of the right angle equal 90. Then we have here, okay, two complementary angles with they form a right angles like this. Okay, here this line in the middle called common side, and this line is outer and this line is outer. Okay, as we see here, the outer sides they form a right angle, or we have words we studied before which is called perpendicular. Then the two adjacent angles are complementary, then their outer sides are perpendicular. Again, if we have two adjacent angles and they are complementary, then their outer sides are perpendicular, okay, as we see here. In this example, we have write the measure of the angle which is complement, again, the angle which is complement to each of the following angles. Okay, the first one here, I need to write the complement to angle 30. As we studied before in the rule, the sum of the two complementary angles equal 90. Then the complement equals 90 minus 30, which is equal to 60 degrees. If the angle equal 60, then its complement equal what? Its complement equals 90 minus 60 equals 30 degrees. Okay, here the complement to the angle 53 and a quarter, okay, it will be 90 minus 53 and quarter, and we are going to measure it like this: 90, don't forget shift fraction, 53 and 1 over 4, it's equal shift fraction 36 and 3 quarters. It will be 36 and 3 quarters degrees. Finally, if the first angle equal 90, then the second angle 90 minus 90 equal 0 degrees. Here we have 30 degrees, it's acute angle, 60 acute. Then the complement of the acute is acute. And 60 acute with 30 acute, then the complement of acute is acute. Here 90 is right. Its complement equals 0. Then the complement of the right is 0. Okay, then we can write this one as a remark like this. Okay, if we have acute, its complement by acute. And if we have right, its complement by 0 angle, and vice versa. If we have 0, it's complemented by right angle. Let's study the next relation. The next relation with us is called two supplementary angles. Two supplementary angles are two angles in which the sum of their measures equals 180 degrees. Again, if the sum of measures of two angles 180, then they are said to be supplementary angles. For example, if measure angle A equals 50 and the measure of angle B equals 130 degrees, then we get that 50 plus 130 equals 180. Then we can say that angle A and B are supplementary because the sum of their measures equals 180 degrees. Let's draw two adjacent supplementary angles like this. If angle A like this equal 150 degrees and the angle next to it like this equals 130 degrees. We get that the two angles here form what? Form a straight line. The outer lines are straight. Then we can say that like this. The outer line are straight, written like this. The adjacent angles are supplementary. Then their outer sides, as we see, are on the same straight lines. Then again, the supplementary, their sum is 180, and if the adjacent are supplementary, then their outer sides are on the same straight line. Let's solve the next. In example 4, write the measure of the angle which supplement to each of the following angles, whose measures are as follow. Okay, the first angle here is angle of measure 20 degrees. As we explained before that the two supplementary angles, the sum of measures of their measures is 180, then the supplement of 20 is 180 minus 20 equals 160 degrees. Next, the supplement of 90 is 180 minus 90 equals 90 degrees. Next, the supplement of 92, 180 minus 92 and half degrees equals 87.5 degrees. Next, the supplement of 180, 180 minus 180, of course it's equal to 0 degrees. Here we have 20 is acute, 160 obtuse, 90 right, 90 obtuse, right also, 92 obtuse, 87.5 acute, 180 straight, 0 is 0 angle. Then we can say that if we have an acute angle, its supplement by obtuse angle and vice versa. If we have a right angle, it supplemented by right angle and vice versa. If we have straight angle, it supplemented by 0 angle and vice versa. Let's solve the next example. Here we have, and here we need to read this exercise carefully. In each of the following figures, AB perpendicular to BC. This sign means perpendicular. Perpendicular means the sum equal. This sign means 90 degrees. BA perpendicular to BC. Find the measure of the required angles under each figure. Here we have, okay, ABC. This is a right angle, as we see here. This is a right angle ABC, and we need here to find the measure of angle ABD. Okay, first we need to learn how can we read the angle ABD from A to D. Okay, from A to D. A, B, D. This is the angle we need. Okay, the angle here, okay, is next to 65 and the sum equals 90. To find this one, it's easy, okay, to find this angle by using the sum. 90 minus 65 degrees equals 25 degrees. Then this angle here equal 25 degrees. Okay, the next one, angle DBC. Angle DBC. Angle, this is the angle we need. DBC. Okay, first we need to find each angle. The stars here means the three angles are equal to each other. Then we are going in the first step. Okay, in the step 1, we are going to divide 90 by 3. It's equal to 30 degrees. Then we are going next to each star, we write 30. 30 here, here, and here. Okay, angle DBC, as we see, included 30 and 30, then it's equal to 60 degrees. Again, angle DBC equal to 30 plus 30, which is equal 60 degrees. The next one, here we have angle ABD. Okay, angle ABD like this. This is the angle ABD, the required angle. Okay, the sum here equals 90. To find the measure of angle ABD, then we are going to subtract 90 minus the two other angles. Then it will be 90 minus, open brackets, 45 plus 25 equals 20 degrees. Then the required angle equal to 20 degrees. Okay, here we have, in this one we have x. X here represent angle FBA. This is the angle we need, FBA. Okay, first we have here how many x? This is x and this is x. Then we have here 2x and 40. Okay, the first step, we are going to subtract 90 minus 40 equal 50 degrees. In the second step, we are going to divide 50 by what? By two angles. Then x equal 50 divided by 2 equals 25 degrees. Then here x equals to 25 degrees. Okay, the next one, in each of the following figures, if C belongs to AB, find the measure of the required angle. Okay, here we have straight line AB. That means that the sum here equals 180 degrees because we have straight angle. Find the measure of the required angle. Okay, here we have AB straight, then the sum equals 180. Measure angle ACD, I'm sorry, equals 35. Here we have this square means 90 degrees. Then angle DCE equals 90 degrees. Where is measure angle ECB? This is angle ECB. Okay, angle ACB here, excuse me, it's like this. Okay, to find this angle we are going to use the sum. The sum is 180 minus the two other angles, 35 plus 90. It's equal to 55 degrees. Then the required angle here, as we see, equals 55 degrees. The next one we have here, the sum is 180 and the angle ECF, like this, ECF. This is the angle, the required angle. Okay, we are going to use the sum, which is 180. Okay, 180 minus, open brackets, 28 plus 32 plus 56. It's equal as we see 64 degrees using the calculator. 64 degrees. Okay, the next one, here we have measure of angle ACD. Here we have two stars. The two stars means the two angles are equal. Then this angle equal to 50, angle BCE. Okay, now we need angle ADC. ACD. This is the required angle. Okay, to find this one, we are going to subtract 180 degrees minus, open brackets, 50 plus 50 equals 80 degrees. Then the angle here equals 80 degrees. Of course, you can check you are right. How come? By add 80 plus 50 plus 50, it must be a 180 degrees. Here we have measure of angle ECD equals 100 degrees, and we need measure angle DCB. We need angle DCB. This is a required angle. Okay. First, we are going to subtract 180 minus 100 equal 80 degrees. Okay, this is the first step. The second step, I'm going to divide 80 by 2 equals 40 degrees. Then we get that angle ECA equal to 40 degrees and the angle DCB equal to 40 degrees. Here, measure of angle DCB is equal to 40 degrees. Okay, the next one, example 7, and this is complete. Please concentrate with me. The measure of the straight angle equals what? It's equal to 180 degrees, and the measure of the zero angle equal to 0 degrees. Okay, of course there is a difference between 0 like this and 0 like this. This one is the type of the angle written by letters, and this is the measure of the angle written by number. The measure of the right angle equals 90 degrees. The acute angle whose measure is less than what and more than what? The acute angle is less than 90 degrees and it's more than 0 degrees. The complement the two complement angles are two angles, the sum of their measures equals 90 degrees. The two supplement angles are two angles whose the sum of their measures equals 180 degrees. The two adjacent angles formed by a straight line and a ray. Okay, let's draw this one. If we have a straight line like this and a ray like this, they form, as we see, two adjacent angles. Okay, we can name them as we took before, angle 1 and angle 2. Then 1 and 2 are two adjacent angles. Then, okay, he asked about formed by a straight line and a ray with the starting point on this straight line are what? He asked here about the relation between angle 1 and 2. Okay, since the two angles form a straight line, then the sum of their measures equals 180. Then the two angles here are supplementary angles. Notes here, if we write the type of one angle, its measure 180, it's called straight, like this. Straight angle. It's if we speak about one angle, it's called straight. But if we speak about two angles, two angles, okay, the sum of their measures 180, then they called supplementary angles. There is a difference between the two definitions. One angle is called straight, two angles, the sum is 180, are called supplementary angles. The next one, the two outer sides of two adjacent angles are perpendicular, like this. If the two outer sides are perpendicular, okay. Of course, he speak here about two angles, then their shape like this. Okay, this is angle 1, and this is the second angle. Then the two angles here are what? Since the outer sides perpendicular, then the sum of the two angles is 90. Okay, if the sum equal 90 degrees, then the two angles are called complementary. Okay, if the outer sides of two adjacent angles are on the same straight line. Okay, again, if the outer sides are on the same straight line, like this. Okay, then these angles are supplementary. Again, then these angles are supplementary, because since the outer side is straight, then the sum of their measures equals 180, then they are supplementary. If the two adjacent angles are supplementary, then their outer sides, again, if the two adjacent angles are supplementary, then their outer sides, like this one, the outer sides here are on the same straight line. On the same straight line. Okay, if the sum of measures of two adjacent angles does not equal to 180, again, if the sum of measures of two adjacent angles not equal to 180, then their outer sides are not on the same straight line. Are not on the same straight line, because the two angles the sum is not equal to 180. The next one, the angle was measure 50 complement what and supplement what. The angle was measure 50 complement, we are going to subtract 90 minus 50, which is equal 130, which is equal to 40 degrees. Then the complement of the 50 equals 40, and here supplement the angle of measure what, we are going to subtract 180 minus 50, it's equal to 130 degrees. Then the supplement here equal 130 degrees. Next, the acute angle complement by, as I explained before in the example 3, the acute angle complement acute angle and supplement an obtuse angle. But if you forget this one, okay, suppose any acute angle, for example 60. 60 here, the complement of 60, 90 minus 60 is 30. And the supplement of 60, 180 minus 60 equal 120. Then the complement of the acute is acute, and the supplement of acute is an obtuse angle. Okay, you can use this way if you forget the rules as we explained before. Okay, this is the end of the lesson. I hope it was helpful for you. See you in the next video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah wa barakatuh. Mr. Ahmed Mahmoud was with you.